Welcome listeners and welcome to episode 2 of Millionaire Health Habits. Today we're going to be talking about how our past habits, our current habits have changed and what they look like and how we're going to implement them through the program. Do you want to start, Dr. Prabath, by talking about some of your past habits and how they weren't beneficial to your health?
Oh my gosh, that's a very hard question to answer, I suppose. I sent you a list of my past habits today morning, You must have gone through it, and then realize how the hell is he going to talk about anything when he had so many bad habits,
But we all have bad habits. So,
yeah. I know, but I'm very critical about myself. But going through the past, I would have had habits like in the morning, wake up, whenever, whatever time, no routines there, I would mostly eat some junk in the morning, some cereal, and then I would just go to work. Throughout the working day, I'd be having my chocolates in my room, munching away chocolates, I would finish a whole bar within one day, and then I suppose I would come home late, and then again, the same scenario, binge eat my big dinner late at night time, followed by a couple of glasses of wine, and then some ice cream, binge watching Netflix, till about 12 midnight.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed late, and then repeat the same again, So during that time, no exercise. So it was a life driven by just consumerism, eating more, drinking more, watching more. Everything was about more and more, even buying things more, never being happy with what I had,
Yeah.
Despite coming here as a migrant and having nothing, I should have been happy with what I had, but it was all about getting more. But when you go for more, what happens is, the problem is that you have to spend time to accumulate that, So thereby you become very time poor, And when you become time poor, the other things in life, like your relationships, how you talk to your friends, that also start to drop,
Yeah.
So that was me. In terms of physical wealth, I had nothing, because I couldn't even run 10 meters. I was with a big belly, and then I looked like a 50-year-old at about 30, In terms of my mental health, I was a wreck. I always was anxious, unhappy, and eating something would make me happy, but then that's very temporary. If you're unhappy, you grab a bar of chocolate and that makes you happy, but a couple of minutes later, you are guilty. You've done
it's
it.
like temporary fulfillment kind of. You're trying to always search for those things that will fulfill you, but only for short periods of time. And then in the long run will affect your health and your mental health in a lot of different ways.
And then that's coming on to my time wealth, because I was going after things. I had to make more money to pay for the big homes, big cars. So thereby I was extremely time poor. I had to work weekends also, And then due to all of that, my social wealth, friendships were suffering, because when there's no time, you can't really spend time with your friends and family, because you're always working.
And do you find that you would see similar lifestyles within your friends as well? Would they pull you up on certain things, or was it pretty similar? What sort of lifestyles were they having as well?
Mixed bag, I suppose. There were a couple of friends who were always much more better than me in terms of their life balance, But there were other friends who were much more worse than me, And so I think as you get mature, you will learn, or some people never learn. And so those are my bad habits, And then now.
And how do you think that was affecting your family?
Family-wise, I think I had kids at that point, and I was a good father. But obviously, I would have been a better person if I had spent more time with the family, But I did try my best, to spend whatever time I could, But if I knew what I knew now, I would have spent more time with my family back then, because as you know, your kids grow up.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss any of that as well.
Now that's why I'm staying here today on a Thursday, because I can afford to. Obviously I could still make some money today and spend that money on something, but then that's
but you know it's something you don't need anymore,
don't need
because
anymore.
you're
Yeah.
happy with what you have.
Yeah, exactly. You know. So the habits, those are the habits that I was talking about. Now we can talk about my good habits now.
Yeah, and where do you think that switch came from? Was it just like a point where, because you mentioned before in the past episode that you got severe headaches and you couldn't get out of bed. Was that pretty much the turning point, you think?
That was the turning point for me to develop gratitude and being grateful, you know, and being more mindful. But the turning point for my health journey was few more years before that.
Okay.
I just suddenly came in. I think I was just one day, because of these habits, I couldn't even bend down to tie my shoelaces, you know, because I was very unhealthy and unfit, you know. And then my wife made a comment, you know, and that really triggered
when
me.
the wife says something, you know.
It's something, I suppose, very, that's what I'm saying. I can tell my patient to change all I want, but till they really have that sudden inspiration to change, nobody's going to change that.
Yeah, and it's going to be different for everyone, because everyone has different ways of setting in patterns and habits.
Habits there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're trying to do today, is put habits forward and see how different people can put patterns and habits in place in order to have a healthier look on themselves and their life and everything like that. Yeah.
And now, I mean, that's the past, you know. That past person, if that trajectory, I mean, it's a very simple thing. I mean, in the book Atomic Habits, James Clear talk about a plane taking off in one city to go to another city, and then the pilot changing course by about 2 degrees, you know, very small in the context, but then over a long period of time, the 2-degree change would take the plane from, let's say, New York to a totally different city, you know.
Yeah, right. Just because that's small
change, you know. So that's the thing with the habits also. If I eat one day bad food, you know, if I have a huge meal one night, it won't change me. If I do it 2 nights, it won't change me. If I do it 7 nights, it won't change me, but after about 1 month, it will try to change you, you know. If you do it for about whole 1 year, you will be definitely changed. Right?
Yeah. And do you think that ideology is kind of with anything? Like if you're putting something small every single day, the 1 month is pretty much around where you'd see a change?
Depends on.
Depends on who,
depends on,
what,
you know. It could be different to other things, I know. The problem with the good habits was the same thing. Let's say I'm unfit. If I run one day 100 meters, next day 100 meters, I'll be still unfit. You will only notice a change after a couple of months only. It's like you go on a journey. I mean, let's say you're going from Melbourne to Sydney. Let's say you're on a bicycle ride. You can't see Sydney here. You're just on a road, you know. But just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean you're not on the right track. You are on the right track. With habits also the same thing. You are doing small things and you can't see your future self, but it's there. But people are so focused on the right moment now.
And what they can see.
What they can see, what they can feel, you know. So that's why I'm trying to break here. So
because I feel like you can definitely see it with negative and positive habits, and I feel like a lot of people give up before they even get to that point. Because it's around that, because people don't like doing things if they don't see results.
Results there.
How long do you think it took you to really put in these habits? Like I know you had a lot of different aspects of the program, like time, wealth, and physical wealth, and all that. But how long do you think it took you to get to the first major, like, different step, if that makes sense?
I think it would have, I mean, to achieve the first was the physical wealth, you know, it took me about, I think, give or take 3 to 6 months to achieve that, you know. Once you achieve one thing, it gives you so much of confidence, and then it's like a snowball after that, you know. You become so confident, you add more, and then you had another habit, you know.
Yeah, because once you realize you can achieve something and you can actually see it, you feel a lot better.
You know, that confidence factor can really push you, you know. So, for example, now if you're going on to the current situation with me, I mean, I don't want to be bragging, but I would wake up in the morning 5:30, and then I would be doing some stock market in the US, you know, making some money there, and then I would then go do my meditation, you know, about 10-15 minutes, and every day in the morning I would read a book, you know, I mean, for about 10-15 minutes, and then I would have to read some my medical knowledge I have to update now, so do some about 10 minutes of reading. All of them are my small amount, but still every day is happening.
And it adds up a lot.
Adds up a lot there, you know. And then basically, I do my write my journal in the morning, and then I plan the day ahead. It only takes about 2-3 minutes, but it's worthwhile doing it, you know. And then I do my gratitude journal, you know. And then I do my 40 minutes of exercise every day, you know. Even if I get really unwell, last week I had COVID for about a couple of days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I still had done my exercise. Even that day I didn't break it because I didn't want to break that routine. Need to keep doing it. And if I was really unwell, I wouldn't do it. But I was like just mild cold only, you know. And then
and you can always like bring it back a little bit.
Exactly.
As long as you keep that habit in place.
Exactly. So and then in the morning I would have my breakfast again. Compared to before, when it was only junk, now it's only wholesome natural food, you know, like an egg or a meat, salad, proteins, you know, but no processed food at all, you know, not even cereal, you know.
Yeah, was that sort of what you were eating, but when you were in those bad habits? Like cereals.
Cereal, you know.
Yeah, it's also really bad for kids, I find, because it's very much promoted towards them, and they have very sugary, lots of flavors, junk food.
Exactly, you know. And then after my breakfast, I will go for my, then I have my daily commute. Again, I don't want to waste that time driving. I would always make a point to listen to one book on like a shorter version called Blinkist, you know. So for example, Atomic Habits, you can read within about 7 minutes the summary of the book, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So in the morning on commute, one book, and then at work also very fairly structured. Between patients, I always take deep breath, relax, you know, and then plenty of water, you know, keep my calm.
And try and move around a bit.
You know, rather than sitting.
Because it's quite a sedentary job.
Being a doctor, you know. And then on the way also, back home also, same things, you know. Again, I wouldn't waste time just not doing anything, you know. Again, a book to read, you know, call a friend, you know, on the way. And then throughout the day, I don't do, in my phone, there's no social media. That means
at all.
No Facebook, Messenger, anything.
And do you find that in your past life, you use that constantly?
Constantly, I'll put a post on Facebook, and then every 10 minutes look to see how many likes I have. How pathetic it is. You know, my validation of a person was based on putting a post and then counting the likes and comments there.
And so many people think that,
exactly.
Especially younger people as well, who are still trying to like find themselves and understand them at their own identity. And a lot of people are now like using social media as a platform to distinguish who they are and stuff like that, when it's completely like fake.
Fake there, yeah. So I was just like you. I mean, I would be much more worse. In the morning, first thing I would do is open my phone, check how many likes I have.
Yeah.
I mean, not anymore.
I need to start getting out of that habit, because I usually like just wake up and have a quick scroll and then get my day started.
I know.
Or if I don't feel very good that morning, I'll spend even more time on it, and then I feel bad because I feel like I've wasted my morning, you know. And because I'm not at high school anymore, and I don't have like a 9-to-5 job because I do freelance work, it's I find that I can definitely fall into those habits sometimes because I don't have a really good structure. You
can create a structure even now, Amelia. You could wake up in the morning and have a clear intention. the morning is the best time to have a clear intention. Right? If you don't have a clear intention, all those pulling things, because these are made by companies who know the science behind habits. Right?
Yeah, psychology
Behind habits.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for example, I'm gonna introduce a book called Tiny Habits by Professor B.J. Fogg. You know, and one of his students actually made Instagram. You know, because he's a Stanford professor, and he lectures of all the big companies about habit formations. In a wrong way, because then his work is used by companies to addict us, you know.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to make is, in the morning, if you don't have a clear intention, the devices within you and the environment will drag you into these, I call them infinity pools. Once you start scrolling, it's never ending. You can go deeper and deeper. So I think that's why I say in the morning I have a clear routine. Wake up, you know, make my coffee, go downstairs, look at my stock market, then go into my meditation. So thereby, there's a path to go there. So I don't have to really think. Moment I don't think, grab the phone. Here we go.
Yeah. And did you have any of these habits in your past life when you were doing?
Like good habits?
Did you have any good habits back then, or was it pretty much? Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah.
For in the morning specifically.
In the morning.
Yeah. Or was it pretty much just wake up, eat breakfast, go to work?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. No. I don't think I had any good habits. You know. I mean, I was not really horribly bad also, but I never had a really good habits.
Yeah. Okay. Within this segment, we're going to be talking about the book Atomic Habits and unpacking a couple of their ideas and ideologies in it. So where did you first find the book?
I found the book, I mean, to be honest, when I went on my journey and I got my habits together, I didn't know about the book.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously some of the things I've done was without the book, you know, but then I fine-tuned certain things with the book.
Yeah, and that helped you like build the program.
With the program,
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
Because obviously nobody's going to listen to me. Who am I? You know, if I tell about somebody like as famous as James Clear and use his method, and the chance of people listening to me is high. You know, but anyway, the book is the very first book we'll be showcasing in our program. You know, because I told about tools we need to get this program. You know, which will be knowing the science of habit, willpower. Third thing would be mindset, and fourth thing would be letting go of our ego.
Yeah.
No. So thereby, let's talk about the first thing, habit, and the first book, Atomic Habits, today. Yeah. So with Atomic Habits, I think it's about basically telling people not to go for a huge goal. Let's say you want to be a gym junkie, okay? And then you think, Amelia's thinking, all right, I'm going to be fit tomorrow, and then you're going to go for a gym today and do about 2-hour workout, you know. You buy the gym membership, you know, and then you go for 2 hours, everything is perfect. But then, what are the chances of you repeating that tomorrow again, another 2 hours, another 2 hours?
It's a really big goal to have straight away.
Straight away, yeah. So what he's saying is, if you want to do 100 push-ups, aspire to do 1 push-up every day, just one. Just one every day. And thereby, obviously, you're not going to stop at 1. You do 2, 3, or whatever. Yeah. But even on a real bad day, you still do 1 push-up. So essentially, you're not breaking that habit cycle.
It's a really small goal to stick by.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the core of the Atomic Habit book there.
Because personally, like I have found it really hard because that's basically what I've been trying to do is trying to become more fit and go to the gym more often. And because I don't really have like a lifestyle that's very structured because I do a lot of different things.
Oh, okay.
I just have to like very much push myself to do that and follow those goals, you know, to go to the gym sometimes. Yeah. So,
we can talk about that later. I suppose, I mean, the reason we say small habits make a big difference is in the book itself, James is saying about a pilot going on a flight, you know, or we could make an analogy of, let's say, ship on a ocean, going from point A to B, and then it wears off course by about, let's say, 1 to 2 degrees. Over a period of one day, it won't make a difference, but over a period of 1 year, 10 years, that 1 degree cross will be a huge change.
Yeah.
It'll be same for the human behavior. If I want to be fit today, just because I run today, it won't make a hell of a lot of difference. I'll be the same unfit person. But if I do it consistently every day for about 30 days, one year, then obviously you become the person you are. Same for bad habits. If you do eat a pizza one night, it won't make you unhealthy. But if you do a pizza every day for the 30 days, your belly start to go up.
It's just about having that balance as well.
Yeah. I think one of the things the book is trying to say is, let's say you want to be healthy or you want to quit smoking. Don't think about the negative side. Let's say somebody offers you a smoke. One person might say, no, I'm trying to quit. Then the other person might say, no, I'm not a smoker. It's the same thing.
But slightly different.
Slightly different, yeah. When second person say, I'm not a smoker, he's taken on an identity.
Yeah.
Of being a non-smoker. I mean, he is a smoker, but he's taken on an identity of being a non-smoker. Now, whenever I go out also, whenever I see a steps, I take it. I don't take the elevator. Because in my mind, I'm not a lazy person. I think I'm an active person looking for exercises. Likewise, So if I see junk food, I don't eat it because I'm thinking I'm a healthy person. Likewise.
Just telling yourself that you're...
So is that you believe, let's say you want to be Amelia Part 2, who's very active, run a marathon, then what you have to do is you have to reframe yourself as, now you're an artistic person now, into arts, everything. But then you think, I want to be more physically active also. Then you have to change your personality, saying, I'm Amelia, I'm an artistic person, as well as I'm a
athlete.
Yes, exactly. When you put that mindset and personality into you, subconsciously you'll work towards it.
And it doesn't become so much as a chore anymore as well. It's just like part of who you are.
Part of who you are, exactly. Part of who you are. So I think in this book, they talk about habit formation, how habits are formed. For example, they talk about this experiment where they put a cat into a box, and within the box there is a lever. The cat need to find the lever. Once you press it, the cat is escaping. And then obviously then on the other side there'll be some food or something like that. Initially when you put a cat into the box there, it's going to struggle. It's going to take time to find the lever, but after second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh attempt, he'll escape within few seconds. After a while, that process becomes habitual. That's where the problems start to happen, for the better or the worse side. Because I'm going to try to break down habit into 4 parts, which will be cue, which will be the cue. In the case of the cat, it will be being stuck in the cage.
Yeah. Okay. So like the problem. What you start with.
Exactly. And then you got the craving, which will be to be free, to be eating that food.
The goal.
Yeah. And then you have the action, which will be to find the lever. And then you have the reward, which will be to be free and to eat that food. It's the same logic for any habit. Let's say, Amelia, a long time ago when I used to come home every day, I would be coming home about 6 or 7 after seeing a lot of patients, stressed out, pissed off, you name it. I come home and I see my kids, and then the cue is I am stressed out, I'm emotionally drained, and then what I do is I just take a glass of wine. And then what happened? My cue is my stress, or coming home, and then the stress, and then you have the glass of wine for the first day. Let's imagine you had never drank wine, and that's your first sip of wine. What happens? You take that sip of wine for the first time in your whole life, you feel a bit relaxed, right? And then you achieve that situation, right? The next day when you come home, if you do it second time around, that habit loop becomes more stronger.
Yeah.
More
So
strong.
every time it becomes
Every time you do it, right?
stronger.
And the funny thing is, when the cat does that for the very first time, her brain is very active, looking, finding the lever. Where is it? Right? But the longer you do it, after a while, when the brain becomes so accustomed to it, the brain starts to lower the action. Right? It's a way the brain is trying to preserve energy. Because when habit is created, it is running on subconscious level. Right? You don't even know. You come home after a while, you take the smoke out, without realizing the smoke is in your hand. You know why? Because it's now subconscious. Right? Because your brain is a machine which is very efficient. It needs to preserve energy. The way it preserves energy is, after a while, certain habits would be actual habits, so they go into your lower level line, which is not in your conscious level line. Okay, so that's why I talk about the habit cue, the craving, and then you have the action and the reward. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The problem is when you have that cue, that all four sequence. Let's say for the first time when you're smoking, let's say you're taking a smoke, let's say you never smoked, I never smoked. The very first time you're smoking, you either feel disgusted, or you will feel that nicotine rush, and then that calmness there.
Yeah.
But after, let's say you do it 1,000 times, what happens is initially the craving happens at the end there. The what you call your happiness of smoking comes at the end. But when you do it for a long time, the craving happens even before the action. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you haven't even started it yet and you still want it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's where the problem is. That's where the addiction is born. Right?
And that can happen with like a lot of things, right? Like because nicotine, obviously, like you get that craving from it, but the same thing with junk food, right?
Junk food,
because it's that initial like want for it.
Yeah, junk food. It could be watching TV. It could be gambling. It could be gaming. The same thing, I know. And different people have different cues. I mean, for somebody, it could be smoking when the person is stressed out. Other person could be smoking when with their friends.
Just different triggers or
different triggers there. Okay.
Situations. And stuff.
Yeah. So let's go chapter by chapter, because then obviously anybody can follow it up more easily. Now in the chapter 5 of this book, they are talking about the concept of called implementation intention. Right? Let's say you want to go to gym. Let's say one way would be you can say, I'm going to go to gym. But then what is the odds of you, or you can say to yourself, I'm going to go to gym every day, Monday morning at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
So the second paragraph is what you call implementation intention there. Because rather than giving a very vague statement of saying, I'm going to go to gym today, it gives you a time, place, straight away there.
Yeah.
So chances of you doing the second time is much more higher, because there is an implementation intention there.
Yeah, a plan
there. For me also, that's the same thing. Every day when I go to bed at night time, I'll have my gym clothes in the floor, right in the bed beside my bed, because I already planned the night before for every day to be doing my workout time.
And it's not anything like super extra to have to do, because it's just there and you can grab it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we call implementation intention there. So you could do it for anything. Let's say you want to start cooking healthy. Either you can say, I'm going to just start cooking healthy, or you can say, today for dinner, I'm going to make a nice steamed vegetables and a fish. Then it's much more clear intention there, you know. So that's what we call implementation intention there.
Yeah. And I suppose like in a way that would get rid of people feeling overwhelmed as well.
Yeah.
Because if they've got certain plans that they want but don't know how to like achieve it or get too distracted by other things, they actually have like a structure to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like need to do it a lot clearer.
Clear. That's you know, that doesn't say you can either be vague about it or much more crystal clear about it. You know. And then the second concept that the book's talking about is called habit stacking. Habit stacking is, let's say you have a habit that you do every day. Let's say you wake up in the morning. What's the first thing you would do in the morning?
Oh, it's bad. I usually check my phone.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's the habit that you normally do. With the habit stacking, what you do is, if you're doing that action every day, you add another action onto it, which is a good one. Let's say you check your phone for 5 minutes, and then you say, I'll have a cup of water every day. Because by linking another habit to an already existing habit, which is happening every day, that second habit would always happen also.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not the sort of person who drink water in the morning, if you do the habit stacking and add that clear intention of having a glass of water in the morning, every day in the morning after having your phone, you'll be drinking a glass of water. So
And it creates a link.
That creates a link there. You know? Now, I have a certain other habit that I stack together. Whenever with my patients, I see patients, I open the door. Before I open the door to get my next patient, I do a couple of wall push-ups. It doesn't take much, just stretch and do a few wall push-ups. And then that's a very simple thing. You know, it doesn't make me stronger, but still it's a small stretch. You know.
Yeah, it moves the body a little bit, gets you prepared for the next patient.
Exactly. You know, so that's a habit stacking. So you can use that principle to add any good habits into your existing bad habits also. You know, for example, in the morning I wake up in the morning and I do stock market, and right after that I do meditation. And right after that I do my book reading. Right after that I do my audio book. So everything is stacked up together. But those things didn't happen overnight. I initially
build up to it.
You know. And then I add a new habit recently, which is basically for about few minutes when I wake up in the morning, I just before I come out of the bed, I always say it's going to be a wonderful day.
Yeah.
You know,
positive affirmation.
Positive affirmation there. You know, it just only takes a few seconds. You know, so that's the habit stacking. You know, and then other law is. To make any behavior possible, you need to make it very obvious. Now you heard about my morning exercise. Why is it happening every day? Because my gym clothes are right next to me. So when I wake up in the morning, out of my bed, straight out, take my clothes off, my wife's sleeping next to me, and gym clothes are there. I'm not going to do my gym activity straight away because I'll be doing my other activity, but still the matter of put in the gym clothes, make your mindset ready. I'll be.
Do you put them on straight away?
Yeah. Put them on straight away. It'll be same for you. Let's say Amelia wants to do a walk every day in the evening, you know. But then it's cold, wintry, you know. You could probably just stay home, you know, and just be warm. But let's say you have this habit of every day after coming home, you put your runners in the, let's say, right at the doorsteps, something like that. So every time you come home, you can see it. You put it on straight away. Once you put it on, you're in the mindset, I'm walking.
Yeah, that's actually really funny because I leave my runners in my like side passenger area because then like I don't really have an excuse if I'm like because I like drive around a lot, and I'll always have like a couple of clothes in my car, because that way I know like I have access to it to go to the gym whenever I have that free chance.
Exactly. Exactly. So you made it. Your clothes are in the car already. So if you have opportunity, you can go to a gym easily.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So you make that easy. The habits should be made obvious. The cues should be obvious.
I feel like that's like a big reason why a lot of people stop doing things, is because it's so not so out of the way, but it's just that little bit of extra work that people just go, can't really be bothered anymore. But having it there keeps it familiar, and it feels easy.
Exactly. That's why I think most of my patients, I've been doctor for 20 years, most of my patients are saying they have gym memberships, they hardly go. Because imagine the effort you need to go to a gym. You have to wake up on time and then drive to a gym, on a very good day it will happen, but on a bad day it's not going to happen. Right? So I think if you're going to go to gym, it should be a way of least resistance. Let's say you have a plan to go to gym every day in the morning towards a commute.
Yeah.
You find a gym that is right on that track and on the same side of the road. I'm serious, because even the fact that being on the other side, you might miss it. So if you want to create a habit of going to gym every day, either gym should be on the commute to your work on the same side and within a reasonable distance, or on the opposite side when you're coming home. That's the chance of you doing it. So you make it least resistance there. That's what good habits say.
And sorry, this might be a bit off topic, but is there much that talks about, because I know with setting some habits, it's easier if you have like another person there with you. Does that do you recommend that for some of your clients, patients and stuff like that?
Definitely.
Because if you've got someone to do it with you, kind of gives it like pushes you to do it a bit more, because then you feel more guilty because you're disappointing someone.
We'll come to that. There is what you call the buddy system. It was mentioned somewhere later,
In the book?
In the book
buddy
also.
system.
Buddy system there, definitely. So we talk about now the basic of habits formation, the 4 cue, the craving, action and reward, and then we talk about things like habit stacking, implementation, intention. Now in the 6th one, they're talking about environmental, how to design the environment. Because you must be thinking that I'm so neat, everything is perfect, but it's not about that. It's not being smart. It's about environment being conducive. For example, I made a real big effort to make the environment around me the least tempting. For example, even now, if there's ice cream in the fridge, I'll eat it. My kids are hiding chocolate from me, because if I see a chocolate bar, I'll have one piece, second one, third one, fourth, fifth, sixth. It's binge eating. So thereby, if I can't stop it, the next best thing would be to control the environment. If you can't stop eating chips, don't bring it, because it's not a human must to have. If you can't avoid smoking, don't bring us a cigarette to home.
I was just about to say, I feel like that's a big reason why I stopped smoking, was because I just I pushed all of it away and didn't have access to it at all.
Exactly.
And then,
now you'll be smoking when you really meet a friend outside, but then that's occasionally, but you can't smoke inside because you've made that environment
a smoke-free space.
A lot of my patients are struggling, saying that their kids are getting fatter, they're all getting bigger and bigger, but what's the problem? How the kids are getting fatter? They are not born fat. They are born normal, but the parents are the ones who are bringing all the junk to home. And the poor kids have no choice. Because once they get into junk food,
It's that mindset
it's
as
a
well.
mindset
Yeah.
again. The environment also.
Yeah.
You know. So if you want to be, for example, my home, I have almost no junk food. Upstairs I have a gym. You know. So the whole home is based on being healthy and to be nutritionist. You know? So thereby I created an environment that is in line with my
Beliefs and intentions.
intentions there.
Yeah.
You know? So if you want to be a musician or like a budding director, film director, you will be surrounding yourself with all your instruments, friends, you know, and everything will be on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Inspirations and making the space feel
Exactly. You know,
involved. In that
and
passion.
Passion. You know? Yeah. So that's how you design the environment for your success. You know, and then. I mean, for example, if you want to, let's say, learn something new, you know, you can, like, let's say you want to learn the guitar, but obviously I can't play the guitar, but let's say I want to learn the guitar, then I need to make it part of my life, you know, where I buy a guitar and I have to have a number one implementation intention saying every day I'm going to practice the guitar at a certain time, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 p.m. But then you have to have the guitar in a very visible place. I mean, you know, let's say like my gym clothes, the guitar should be always visible for you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what you call design environment. Right? Or let's say a long time ago, we used to at our home, we used to always buy soda. You know, I love Solo. No, I mean,
Solo is my favorite.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
I'm actually not a big soft drink drinker,
Yeah.
but Solo and Coke No Sugar are like the only ones I'll drink.
Yeah,
I love Solo.
I love it.
Yeah.
But then I realized it's a bad habit, you know, because I couldn't stop drinking it. The next thing I can do is design the environment not to have Solo. So I don't go shopping anymore. My wife goes shopping. So then my home don't have any more soda. You know? So that's what they call the change in environment there. Yeah, and then I think most people get it wrong trying to change only based on motivation. Because motivation is good to have, but it's a very limited source there. Because let's say you wake up in the morning, you're motivated. But your motivation is like a muscle. In the morning it's high, but you know the more you go, or like in the evening it starts to decline. Like,
and if you wake up feeling bad, you're not going to have any motivation. As well.
there.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, it's interesting. In the book they mention about the Vietnam War, and during the Vietnam War, they realized, the American government realized a lot of US soldiers were heroin addicts. Almost 90% of them were addicted to heroin.
Wow.
You know?
Was that after the war, obviously?
During the war.
Wow.
You know, because obviously they were fighting, you know, a very dangerous situation. And the government was thinking, once these soldiers come back home, what would happen to them? Because they are coming with addiction. They were preparing for a disaster. But funnily enough, once the soldiers returned back home, most of the soldiers got out of it because that environment was no longer there.
Yeah.
It's the same situation. Most of smokers will be lifelong smokers as long as they hang out with their friends who are smokers. You mentioned when you were working in the cinemas, you used to drink a lot of
Solo. You like
Solo.
every single because we just had a range of soft drinks on tap, and we could just grab a cup and very easily. But now that I don't work there anymore, I don't drink that much soft drink at all.
Exactly. So it didn't take your willpower to break that habit. Your change of environment changed that habit.
100%.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So I think we need to keep our willpower. It's a muscle. We need to keep our willpower for really important things. So if you have that environmental change, you can keep the willpower for something else. So you can keep the willpower to your studies. You can keep the willpower to read a book or something. Otherwise, if you waste your willpower onto something minor as not drinking a solo, then when it really needed, you don't have willpower.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about, trying to preserve energy, keep it, control the environment, so you preserve your willpower for more better things. The problem is, even now, my real bad habits are still there, unfortunately. To give example, I have this habit of whenever I'm stressing out, picking on the chin, like this. I used to do it as a teenager, when I was under stress. Even as a 40-year-old, it's still there. But I broke it a couple of times. But whenever I'm stressing out, the habit re-emerges there, because the habit loop is still somewhere there. Yeah, and then Amelia, another concept mentioned in the book is called temptation bundling. Okay, so what do you think? What is that?
Temptation bundling.
Yeah.
Or
Imagine. Yeah.
things that give you the quick fix.
Yep,
or
that's true. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. It could be in the book. It mentioned about this guy who loves Netflix, or it could be for me. Also, let's say I love sports, Netflix, movies, and let's say you want to bundle that with something good. Now, in this book, they mention about this IT guy who's very unfit. He would come home, watch TV, Netflix, 3-4 hours, and get fatter and fatter because you're not exercising.
Yeah.
So what he done is he bundled that with another riding his bicycle. I think it was Peloton.
Okay.
So he made sure, because he's a very smart guy, he made sure that the TV doesn't turn on unless you get on the Peloton bike and start riding.
Oh, wow.
Obviously.
So it's like powered by it.
Yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a very smart guy to do that, So that's what you call temptation bundling. Even now, if I want to watch something really not very useful, like something that is like a
For entertainment.
I would still do it. But then I would do it Saturday morning sometimes when I do my grueling 30-40 kilometer bike ride, followed by my rowing. So I can still watch all those rubbish shows I want to see, but then I need to be, I'm riding the bicycle at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're doing something fun, and then you're getting exercise also. That's what you call temptation bundling,
And then you're like saving time as well.
Saving time as well, And you can't bundle all together everything. You need to be a right match,
Yeah.
For example, every Sunday morning I do my gardening, and it's cold, miserable, but I love to go outside. And then at the same time I have my Apple iPods, and then I listen to an audiobook, So thereby I'm bundling both together. Other thing about habit is, let's say you want to break a bad habit. I talk about making a good habit easy. If you want to go to, if it's a bad habit, you need to make it very difficult to do. So for example, we talk about smoking, or we spoke about having junk food. Let's say I crave junk food. If the food is already there in the fridge, I'll eat it.
Yeah, because there's no hurdles in place in order to do it. It's very easy to do.
There, So to break a bad habit, make it very difficult. Make it almost impossible to do. That's the other step. So these are very basic ones. Anybody can do it. It's not rocket science. What is proposing is, I suppose, even people, I have been doing it without reading his books. You must be doing certain things without even knowing that you're doing it. But if you read the books, you can fine tune it and be a better.
To what your situation and environment is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But problem is, let's say somebody who doesn't like to go to gym or doesn't like to run or anything. How do you get that unappealing activity satisfying. That's where the problem is. You can easily say to my patients, go to walk, go do exercise every day, but then you have to make that activity appealing. Because as you know, the cue, the craving, the action reward wouldn't stick if there's no reward to it.
Yeah.
So let's say, Amelia, you don't like running. How would you start running? How do you make it rewarding for you?
Well, maybe you do something you really like afterwards, or like go to a place that you really like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Because I know like a lot of people that don't go to the gym, not just because they're not motivated to exercise, but because they feel like anxious around the space.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
putting forward things like doing it in a space that you feel comfortable in, like setting up like what you have, like your own gym, or doing exercises that don't require you to be at the gym, but you're still being fit.
Exactly.
It's just depending on each person. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what my patients say. You know, you don't need to go to gym if the gyms are very overwhelming, or you don't have passion for it. It could be dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be playing badminton. It could be playing tennis. Or it could be playing a team sports. It could be anything.
And it's just finding out what your actual interests are as well. Because if you're pushing for something that you keep not enjoying, you're not going to want to do it as a habit.
Yeah. So I think to make the habit stick, you have to put the reward to it. As you said, Amelia, let's say somebody who doesn't want to do exercise, how do you get a habit to stick? Could be to put a reward at the end of it. Let's say, as you said, and then you go to gym. After every gym, you get to have, let's say, do some shopping.
Yeah.
But not to eat, because I think it defeats the purpose there. It needs to be something.
It's so funny because the gym that I was going to before, it was literally the gym and then McDonald's right next to it. It's so funny.
So you could probably link the daily exercise habit to buying something to make you happy, like a new clothes or something simple, or it could be you get to watch your favorite program after.
So I was talking about before having like a partner or a buddy to do the habit with you in order to like not disappoint them or like to do that, because when I go to the gym I see a lot of people doing things in pairs. Does that go into the book at all? Like
it does. And you're very right. I think in the book he mentioned about what you call accountability partner. It could be, let's say you wanna quit junk food, and you have a good friend who's a very healthy freak, let's say, who's somebody go over, and then he tells you, okay, Amelia, let's make a deal. Okay. The deal would be every time you eat junk food, you pay him $10, something like that. Or he gets to send you a message saying something bad about you, something like that. So thereby he becomes an accountability partner, and then obviously you can probably be his accountability partner for something else. He could be a smoker. You could be his partner for that.
Having an exchange of something. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the one concept there. And then and the other thing is there are a lot of ways to track habits. There are habit trackers you can use. I mean, I used it a couple of times, but I felt trying to track multiple habits was a problem there.
Too many
there. So if you do use a habit tracker, my advice is track one habit at a time.
Okay, because otherwise it gets too overwhelming.
I initially, when I used that tracker, I put about 15 habits there. Don't drive fast. But I think after a while I stopped doing that. But now I only put one habit if I want to. Once I get over it, I go to the next one. So I think, how to make a habit stick, that's the hardest one. I think in the book they mention about, it's a very interesting story about this public health officer in, I think, Karachi, Pakistan, and I think long time ago, the Karachi being a huge capital with 10-15 million people there, had a huge crisis of sanitation, people getting sick because the basic thing of even hand washing was not being done.
Yeah,
People
right.
are preparing food.
Basic hygiene.
Basic hygiene there. And then what happened is they devised a plan how to get people to hand hygiene. What they proposed was they made a campaign where they bought this special soap, I think from the company, I think Procter and Gamble,
Okay, yeah.
And it was very foamy soap that gave that feeling of like tingling.
Yeah.
So thereby, when they promoted the soap, after a long time, people just loved that the feeling they got after washing their hand. That foamy feeling, So the mere fact before that, the hand washing was a chore.
Yeah.
I had to wash the hand, use all soap, nothing happened, disgusting smell. But after a while, that anticipation of getting that nice smell to the hand became that habit loop was created there.
And it's not exciting anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Even for any habit, for the very first time, for a difficult habit, let's say like smoking, like things like alcohol, smoking, gambling, drugs, and everything, they are easy habit to take on now because the reward is already there.
Yeah.
If you take a recreational drug, you get that feeling straight away. If you smoke, you get that nicotine rush. If you drink, you get that drunkenness sign. But for like a habit like reading a book, exercise, gardening, or like riding a bicycle,
You don't get that instant reward.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then you have to basically use things like temptation bundling, or linking that habit to another one. You go for a bike ride, then after the bike ride you get to watch your TV, like that. So those are some of the tips that book discuss about. I can link you to the actual book on the Blinkist, and then you can listen to that. But you have to buy the Blinkist app.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have to pay Blinkist small amount of money to listen to the book. Or I can link to a YouTube video that has the summary of the Atomic Habits there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
That'll be linked in the description.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll have more content with you next time. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.